That is Glamorgan sausages made. Crunchy, crunchy. Oh, look in there. That is phenomenal. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we are back in Wales. We are making Glamorgan sausages. This has been requested and it's one of my favourite vegetarian sausages of all time. I make it just a little bit different to everybody else, but with all the same ingredients, okay? And I've managed, believe it or not, I've managed to get hold of some Caerphilly cheese. I just can't wait to use it. I love Caerphilly cheese, you know, it's got that slightly sharp flavour to it. It's creamy, it's delicious. I've got a little bit here, look, you can see it's crumbling already in here. So I'm going to make a quick cheese sauce with a little bit, and the rest of that is going in the Glamorgan sausages. So let's show you how to do it right now, come on. Okay, so we've got to get a couple of jobs out of the way. I'm just going to finely chop this parsley. So just get your parsley and just finely chop it. It doesn't matter how you do it, just finely chop it up. Now this parsley is going to go in the sauce and it's going in with our sausages. So we're just going to chop it up and retain some for the sauce. So there we are, parsley done, parsley in there. Okay, we've got our leeks. Now I have already cleaned them, as you can see, and I've chopped the root end off. I'm going to come right up to the green bit at the top. So I don't want that end there, so we're going to get rid of that end. Same on that bit there, we just want that bit of leek. Okay, so it's nice and straightforward. We want some very thin slices, and I mean thin, like this. Okay, so we just need to chop our leeks. Just chop them any which way you normally do. Now that is our leeks. I'm just going to loosen them like that with my hands before I partially fry some, keep some back to put in a little bit fresher. Leeks in there, look, absolutely fantastic, put to one side. Okay, our Caerphilly cheese then, it's as crumbly as heck, as you can see, it just breaking up as it goes through the cheese grater. Oh, I love that smell. It's one of those cheeses, you know, it's just, you just know it's Caerphilly, you know, when you're using it. Creamy, sharp, you can smell it coming out of there. You can smell the tanginess. That is amazing. Crumbling up. Okay, that bit in there is for our sauce. This bit in here is going to be for our sausages, so off we go again. Okay, there's our cheese. Okay, we want to be cracking an egg and we want to get that in there. I'm going to take a fork and we're going to give that a little bit of a beating. There we go, one side. Okay, we want to be getting a pan on. A little bit of a flame under there. Now, I'm going in here with some butter. A little bit of butter there. I'm going in there with a good 3/4 of our leeks. So we need to be giving them a little bit of a frying in there. That's going to give that nice buttery flavour on those leeks. Soften up the harshness a little bit, bring out that sweetness of those leeks. Fantastic. Now, I'm not bothered about browning these. If they do brown a little bit, that's fine. But we don't really want to brown them. We just want to soften them up. Okay, they're softened enough. Turn off the flame. Put in the rest of those leeks. Just give that a little stir through. They're going to soften just a little bit in the pan, but they're nowhere near going to be as softened as that other lot. So they're going to retain that crunch, that little bit of texture in the leek when we put them in our Glamorgan sausages. Now give them a little breakthrough with your spatula. Just open them up. So we've got a little bit of softness in there with the buttered ones, and now we've got that little bit of a crunch with those raw ones. That is fantastic. So that is going to give us the best flavour possible in our Glamorgan sausages. Just let that cool a little minute, and we're going to add that to our breadcrumbs. Our breadcrumbs are straightforward dried breadcrumbs, like panko breadcrumbs, in there with our cheese. We're going in there with a little bit of white pepper, mustard powder, and I got about half a teaspoon of mustard powder, just to put that flavour in there. You know, people use a teaspoon of ready-made. I'm using powder. We want to go in there with some of our parsley. Leave some to one side, it's going in the sauce. Let's have that mixed in. Now we're going to chuck in our leek. And we're going to give that a stir through. Bring it all in there. Then we're going in there with a beaten egg. We're going to bring that in. And then this mixture's too dry, so we're going to have to add some milk. Just a little bit of milk as we're going on. So in there with a splash of milk. We won't go 2 bananas just yet. Give that a mix in. Now just squash it like that with your spoon, and you can see if it's going to come together. I think that's going to come together there. Now, it wants to be a fairly dry mix, but not too dry. If it's too dry, it's just going to crumble apart. But look, as you can see, if you squash it with your spoon, if you squash that with your spoon, that is going to come together. That is okay. Now, we need to be rolling some of these sausages, and it doesn't really matter how big you go. You know, you just need to roll them all reasonably the same size. Now of course it doesn't matter if they're slightly bigger or slightly less. No one's bothered. So there we have our Glamorgan sausages, and I've got a little small one there as well. So all we got to do now is egg them, breadcrumb them and fry them. Okay, in here we've got a couple of eggs. we're just going to give those a beating. And that's what we're going to dip our Glamorgan sausages in before we put them in the breadcrumbs. Okay, we're just going to take our sausage, nice and steady, in the egg wash, straight in those breadcrumbs. Straight in there. Give it a little gentle squidge down. And there you go. Our Glamorgan sausage breaded. Now, you could be really cheeky if you wanted to, but I don't normally. And you could double dip it. Now, I don't normally, but you could. So I've shown you. So again, in there, in there. Okay, so this is very straightforward. Then we're just going to go in there with some oil. And we're going to shallow fry these. So on with the flame. Nice and steady. So all we do is gentle sizzle on there. Now don't overcrowd your pan, nice and gentle, and we're just going to turn them over. Flame quite low, but they need to fry, so the oil has to be hot enough. So we're just going to turn them, and we'll keep turning them until they brown all the way around. Nice and gently. Don't forget, these are very soft in here. So nice and gently then, we just need to be rotating. Get that golden crisp all over them. Oh, you can smell that Caerphilly cheese in there. And that leek smells fantastic. My mouth's watering. Give it a little turn. Okay, when you think you've got your sausages done enough, let's have them out of there to drain. And then just in with as many sausages as you've got, cook them off, put them out to drain. And then we've got to make a cheese sauce to go with this. So put a little bit of a flame on, and we want to go in there with some milk. Now this is going to be the quickest cheese sauce you can make without making a bechamel flour and all that carry on. In there, corn flour. Now we're going to keep this a little bit white, so we're going to go in there with some white pepper. No salt, because we're adding cheese. Just whisk that up till it starts to thicken a little bit. Okay, as soon as you feel it starting to thicken, in there with a knob of butter. So that's going to put that nice buttery flavour through there. In there with our Caerphilly cheese, or any other cheddar cheese that you might be using. Give that a stir in, and there's a cheese sauce. No fuss. Off with the flame. That is a perfect cheese sauce. In with our parsley, stir it through. And for all the folks that like a little bit of mustard, just stir it in. If you want to change up the flavour of your cheese sauce, put that mustard in there for that little bit of a underlying flavour. And that is our cheese sauce made. Off with the flame, put to one side. There's our Glamorgan sausages made. All we got to do now is serve them up and give them a taste with our cheese sauce. Oh, come on. Look in there. That is Glamorgan sausages made. Let's give them a taste. Now, normally you would serve it up with something, but it's all about the Glamorgan sausages. So there you go. There's our Glamorgan sausages and our cheese sauce. What do they look like? Oh, crunchy, crunchy. Oh, look in there. That is phenomenal. Oh, serve it with some cheese sauce. Oh, oh, that crunch of the breadcrumbs. You know, that Caerphilly cheese has held it all together inside there with those breadcrumbs and that leek. That is a sensational flavour. Get in here. That is absolutely incredible. Look at that filling. Just look in there. And that cheese sauce is a mild cheese sauce, even though it's made with Caerphilly cheese. It's really tasty. Oh, heck. Serve that with mashed potatoes and some veg. That is A1. What a meal. In fact, that would actually go with some nice ham. Anyway, I digress. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video. Oh.